Hi everyone, my name is Katie Eastman. I work here locally in Orange County, California, and I'm going to talk a little bit about our real estate market and what's to come. So first things first, let's talk a little bit about interest rates. I've heard a lot of people and clients say they're worried about where interest rates are going, and really that 3%, mid 3% rates that we are seeing were historic lows. So the rates that we have today are still good rates. So if you have really great credit, we're looking at about 4.5% right now for a rate. You could even be closer to 4.25% depending on what bank you use. But the projections are that at the end of the year, we're looking closer to 5%. So let's talk a little bit about why interest rates are interest rates, right? So first things first, a lot of you have probably heard of the Fed, right? Well, the Fed is just short for our Federal Reserve System, and they're really the ones that regulate our interest rates, along with bank reserve requirements and credit availability. So along with the Fed, rates are affected by supply and demand, along with inflation. Interest rates usually rise the higher the inflation rate is, and if the demand for money is higher. The Fed is said to increase rates 2 more times this year. But again, you guys, anything under 5% is still a good rate and it's still low when borrowing money. I've also heard people say, hey, prices should drop, right? If rates go up. And sometimes historically we have seen that, but today that's not happening. And the biggest reason is because the supply is low and the demand is still very high to buy real estate. So let's talk a little bit about our supply issue. Really, here locally, it's going to be for that 750 under range. And that's obviously the more affordable house price. And there's a lot of buyers looking in that price range. You can notice from 2017 to 2018, there's a 12% decrease in homes on the market, which is huge. And that's why a lot of buyers that are in that price point are seeing that they're having to compete with people in that range, and there's a lot of multiple offers going on. And then even that 500 under is 20%. The luxury market though is strong right now, and there have been a lot of buyers as well. Okay, this chart's really cool. So from this year to next year, the projections are 10.2%, which is great for California. If you're thinking about buying, it's great because, hey, there's this potential equity of 10.2% in your home with you doing nothing to it. If you own a home and you're thinking about selling and buying something bigger, it's also a great time because you'll probably be getting a good price for your home, and then you'll be getting into that bigger house, and then that 10.2% increase will obviously will get you more money in your bigger home because those are usually more expensive. The US altogether though is looking about a 4.8% increase. I like this chart too. So obviously the bulls are pretty optimistic here with a 27.4% appreciation by 2022. The bears are at 8.3%. Me personally, I'm probably somewhere in the middle just because I think that our economy can sustain some of the increases, whether it's the home prices or interest rates, but I also think we're going to have to level off at some time. So let's talk a little bit about home prices. Yes, they are projected to rise for the next few years. Personally, I project they're going to level off probably within 3 years, and we're going to see normal increases. This is really important. I think because of the crash, a lot of people are jaded with pricing and think we could be in a bubble. I'm going to tell you why I think we're not. Well, first off, I love this quote. The median home prices from 1968 to 2004 shows an average yearly increase of 6.4% without a single decline during the 36-year period. This is huge. So a 6.4% increase is normal. That's a normal increase. So let me show you this next chart. Okay, I love this chart. So you see in green, these are our actuals. The blue is with normal historic appreciation. So if you look at the very beginning back in 2000, if we just had that normal increase in the blue, we get all the way to 2017, right? We would be at where we are today, which is huge. This is so good to know. So when people say, hey, are we in a bubble? We're not in a bubble. Yes, prices have increased, but they're just jumping back up to where they should be. So this is huge. So if someone says we're in a bubble, educate them. Honestly, if we didn't have the huge crisis back in 2008, 2009, where the crash happened, we would be at where we are today. And actually, California is 2% on average for the whole state above where we would actually be. Okay, obviously, I think now is the time to buy, whether you're a first-time home buyer or you're a seller that wants to get a different home. because prices are projected to rise. But rates are still low, but they're also on the rise. So there is this huge opportunity for equity. And if you're a current home seller, you may get more for your home than you were expecting, which is great because you can take that and put it towards your new home, which will help offset that monthly payment. If you're a renter and you're worried about not buying the perfect house, or you don't want to buy until you find the perfect house, it's hard to time the market. Don't do it. Get in, buy something that you can afford, and make your money work for you. And then when you're ready to sell it, cash out on that equity, and then buy something else. There's obviously a lot of tax benefits too in owning real estate. If you have any questions about what I spoke about today, feel free to visit my website, or you can reach out to me via email or my phone number. Thanks so much for tuning in.